weigh a little bit more. So Charlie weighs about 60 pounds. Females will weigh about 40. Yeah, so that's one way you can tell Charlie apart, is he's a lot bigger than the two females. Especially when he's up on the deck, he's like really big.
On their feet, what are their digits? How are their hands work?
They have 5, but they just don't have opposable thumbs like we do. Okay. But yeah, so their paws are pretty much just like weasels. You know, they've got the little paw pads. Their hind legs have been turned into like rudders almost, or like really big paddles. So that way it kind of helps them swim through the water. But yeah, they got little 5 digits. They have toenails.
Well, I didn't know if they had an opposing, because I know they use their hands a lot.
No opposable thumb, but they do have 5 digits. They will, bang rocks and stuff to open the clams. They're really smart. Cool, so we have our mammal staff coming out now. You can see our otters are very excited. They know what's happening. If you guys have any other questions, remember them. I will answer them after the show, okay, buddy? Right now, I'm actually going to pass it over to Aaron in there.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Southern Sea Otter training presentation. My name is Aaron. I'm kind of front and center here, working with one of my absolute favorite animals of this entire aquarium. Her name is Ollie. She's going to do a couple spins for you guys to show off. She is our 8-year-old adult female Southern Sea Otter. One of the most energetic animals I've probably ever met in my entire life, and probably the only otter I've ever seen galloping around on the land. She's a very special animal, and she has lived here for 8 years now. But we are joined out here on our exhibit by 3 other otters. We have Betty, who's at the front window. She is 6 years old. You can tell she's a little younger than our other otters because she's got that brown coloration kind of from the tip of her nose all the way down to the tip of her tail, whereas our older otters have developed that whitish silver coloration on their head and neck. Then we've got Charlie in the water next to me. He's 21 years old. He's very special because he's actually the oldest sea otter known in the world. He's in the Guinness Book of World Records, actually. And these guys typically live about 12 years out in the ocean. So at 21 years old, Charlie has just about doubled his natural life expectancy. Now behind me, you guys are getting a chance to see an otter photo shoot that is happening with Maggie, our 17-year-old female. She's one of our smartest animals, probably the smartest animal that we have here in our otter exhibit. And she's also very good at posing for photos. So you guys kind of can get a behind the scenes look at how we get some of our photos that we use on our social media and for our posters and things like that. Maggie is a good model for all of our otter pictures and things like that. But we do train them for a couple of reasons besides just taking cute photos of them. Actually, the most important reason is animal husbandry, or basically animal health care. So we do train these guys to participate in healthcare type behaviors. We can ask them to do things like join us up on the deck area, and in this way we can inspect them a little bit more closely. We can have them open their mouth, we can have them show us their paws, we can even have them do things like stand on up so we can check out their underside as well. Now, Ollie's a little bit off balance here. This behavior is not something that otters typically will do out in their natural environment, but it is something that we train our otters to do here at the aquarium because it does allow us to kind of get a good view of what their underside looks like, and it also gives us a good idea of how their hips are doing. It both can tell us their hip strength and also whether or not they might be developing arthritis, which older otters will develop as well. Charlie over there is also trained to receive eye drops twice a day and also get his teeth brushed every single day, and that toothbrush behavior is something that we do work on with all of our otters, including our younger ones, so that we can make sure we are giving them good preventative health care, as well as making sure we can address any problems as they crop up. Now, we do also train these guys for physical exercise. One of my favorite behaviors that these guys do is a toy retrieval behavior that Ollie is more than happy to show off. Right front and center, she's diving around the exhibit. She's searching for a toy, bringing it back, and throwing it at the participants. Her toy retrieval behavior that not only helps her get a lot of exercise throughout the day, but also can help encourage her to engage in natural behaviors. So these guys typically eat things that live on the ocean floor, like clams and mussels and crabs, and sometimes lobster as well, and sea urchins. And so we can ask them to do things that mimic foraging behaviors, or she's just going to try to steal this toy back from me and give it back. But all of these different toy retrieval behaviors, and we also have some behaviors where they will hit toys to the wall or pound them on one another. Just encourage them to engage in natural otter behaviors to make sure that they are also mentally stimulated throughout the day. Which brings me to the last reason that we work with these animals, which is mental stimulation. We do want to them to be engaged throughout the day. We don't want them to be bored here at the aquarium. And so we do train them new behaviors all of the time. Ollie's actually going to be learning an open mouth behavior later on in this training session. And we also will practice old behaviors all the time as well. So we do work with them to make sure that we are keeping their minds as healthy as we are keeping their bodies. One really cool thing that we do here for mental stimulation for our sea otters is called our shape discrimination test, in which we actually ask our otters to be able to recognize their shape from a lineup of shapes. And so, for example, Ollie knows her shape is a yellow crescent moon. If we show her that yellow crescent moon and any other shape, she can actually choose between the two and go to that crescent moon. I can see our animal encounter guests are more than ready to help us train Ollie today. I was wondering if you guys would just put those shapes up in the window so we can see if Ollie can get the answer correct. We are going to look for her to choose between the two shapes that you present and go to that crescent moon. Alright, I'm going to send her over now. We're going to see if she can choose correctly between those two shapes. And of course she does, because Ollie is a genius. So I reinforced her or rewarded her with an entire squid, which is actually Ollie's favorite food. You can see her kind of engaging with that out there in the window, chomping down on her squid. She's going to come on back to me, and if my animal encounter guest would take those shapes down, switch them around, and put them back up at the window, we're going to see if she can get the answer right 2 times in a row, even if those shapes were switched around. Alright, you guys go ahead, put them up at the window. I'm going to send Ollie over one more time. You guys are both going to see Ollie up close and personal. I see her ready to take a video of her as well. Beautiful job by Ollie. How about a big round of applause for Ollie? She did a fantastic job. And for our animal encounter guests, all of these guys did a great job today, and Ollie's proving how smart she is. So we are going to continue engaging with these otters using our training session. And I'm going to hand the microphone back over to Amy so you guys can continue to learn about this wonderful species.
All right, thank you, Erin, and thank you to our volunteers as well for helping us out. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about these otters and why they're so important and how they survive. These guys live in really cold waters. It's about 55 degrees or so in their normal habitat, so really cold. And these otters are one of the few marine mammals that do not have a layer of blubber to keep them warm. Instead, they rely on a couple other things. The first thing they rely on, we can see right now, it's them eating. Sea otters eat the most food out of any animal here at the aquarium, pretty much any animal in the world. Sea otters eat 25% of their body weight every single day. So kind of imagine your weight, think about how much you weigh. In order to eat the same amount of food that these otters are eating, you would have to eat 1 quarter-pound cheeseburger for every pound you weigh. So if you weighed 100 pounds, that's 100 quarter-pound cheeseburgers every single day. So that's just how much these otters are eating, and they're 25% of their body weight, so it's really intense. But that fast metabolism turns into heat and energy for these guys. And then the second way they stay toasty warm is actually their fur. Sea otters have the densest fur coat in the entire animal kingdom. In a square inch, which is about a circle or a post stamp, there are 1 million hairs crammed in this one little area. On our whole head, we have 100,000 hairs, and they have 1 million in this little circle. So it's super, super thick fur. They will blow air bubbles through it and clean it throughout the day. Their skin stays completely dry. Their skin will never feel the coldness of the water. That's just how thick it is. I think it's pretty incredible that they stay completely dry. The only places that do feel the cold water is going to be their nose, their paws, and their flippers. So that's why sometimes you can see them folding their paws and flippers out of the water, because they're getting a little chilly. But yeah, that fur keeps them very, very warm. But that fur also got them into a lot of trouble. Us humans, we hunted a lot of different animals for their fur, including these otters, as well as like foxes, minxes, seals even. But we hunted those guys for their fur coats. And we hunted them so much that otters almost went extinct. These southern sea otters, there were 50 of them left off the western coast of the United States here when we realized that we had to do something about that. Those sea otters are now protected federally. They are protected under the Marine Mammal Protection Act and the Endangered Species Act. They also protected internationally as well. They are under the International Fur Treaty of 1911, so no one can hunt otters from anywhere all over the world. So these guys are doing great out there now. There's about 3,000 southern sea otters, which is good to hear. But their populations can be doing a lot better. You know, 3,000 is good, but we want 100,000 sea otters. You know, we want their populations to be really healthy. So that's kind of where we come in and help these otters. The main reason these otters have such a hard time with getting their populations back up is because of pollution in their home. You know, when oil leaks from our cars, when it leaks in the ocean, it creates a lot of pollution for them. Fertilizers and pesticides that we use on our lawns and our vegetables and things like that, when it rains, that gets washed in the ocean as well. Trash, plastics is a big one as well. All of that stuff ends up in our oceans and really makes it hard for these guys to live. So one way we can help is just by changing what we do in our everyday lives. Turning off your light switches, making sure your car runs efficiently, not using single-use plastics like straws, plastic baggies. It's actually insane the amount of plastic that we use every single day. Shampoo bottles, deodorant. It's crazy how much we use. So just by changing little things we do in our lives can make a really big impact on our ocean ecosystems as a whole. Now these otters, you guys may be wondering, if they did go extinct way back when, what would have happened? You know, what's the big deal about sea otters? But these guys, not only are they adorable, as you can see them running up there, but these guys are also really needed in their ecosystem. They're what's known as a keystone species. So which means if they weren't around, the entire ecosystem collapsed. And we see that constantly in areas where there's no sea otters. That kelp forest is really bad. There's no biodiversity, which just means there's no animals living there. There's no oxygen production. It's just a really bad mess. And then when there are sea otters there, it's really healthy. So it's kind of like when otters are present, the ecosystem is healthy as well. So we really gotta make sure we're doing what we can to help out these otter populations. Now, that is the end of our presentation. If you guys had any last questions, I know a couple of you guys did, feel free to come and ask me. My name is Amy and I'm an educator here. If not, thank you guys so much for listening.